a net. So recklessly graceful, you glided by, and a net sprung from you and caught my gaze. A fire sprouted and branched in me, and inextinguishably flames and flourishes. I transported, gathered from the sky field those white roses, and fashioned you a bouquet of stars. Your beauty delineated your image upon the metal of my memory. So recklessly graceful, you glided by.
Back home in the wild. Upon a morning, dazzling with dew, a pig married a kangaroo. He took her home out of the wild and swore he'd respect her lifestyle. He bought her an orchard and kangaroo things, built her a bed fitted with springs. A full week of bliss they spent together. Then there was a change in weather. The piggy began to wallow in mud and drag wifey too in the slud. Oh, darling sweetheart, sobbed the poor kangaroo. I can't take what's come over you. There's not a day I don't think of suicide. But once I'm dead, dead I must bide. It frightens me when I think of it. When I'm dead, that is it. I want to live, and in living be blithe. That is my legislative right. But that right is threatened by your lifestyle. I must go back home in the wild. A promiscuous woman you are, Pig said, to want to leave your nuptial bed. He gave a fierce grunt and grabbed in his jaw piece of her ear and ate it raw. Oh dear, sobbed the poor kangaroo. Mom was right about not knowing you. And now I'm pregnant. Christ, what shall I do? Aha, laughed Pig. There, I got you. He yawned impolitely and rolled on his back and was out before he hit the sack. And before the sack quite knew he was there, wifey had fled, jumping him clear. From the wild, she sent a voice note to Exview. I had to do what I had to do. But if the kid's a pig, I'll send it to you. I'd keep it if it's kangaroo. But if the poor things need me or you, it's God to figure what to do.
Love lost. There's a space in my center, a roaring in my head, a love that's missing, a love that's lacking. There's a fissure in my soul, a brokenness opened. My joy leaked out, ran down my legs, and away from me, silence. My love has left me for another. I am ruptured, broken, heart, soul, spirit. How can one so lovable leave such a deep mark? It is hate that keeps me company. It is hate that I take to bed. In dreams I see a long, dark tunnel. There's light, small, steady, reassuring, beckoning. There's light at the end of my tunnel. I will love again. This time I will be soft, pliant. This time I will submit.
Letter to Martin Carter. After 20 days and 20 nights in prison, you wake and you search for birds and sunlight. You wait for rain and thunder, and you think of home with pain inside your heart. And your laugh has scorn more bitter than a curse. You think of green mornings, naked children playing in the rain, and even fishes swimming in a pool. A shop in the street and women passing by, walking from home to market in the morning. A blind old man now tapping with his stick, seeing no one, no light, no golden flower, but wandering through that night, wrapped on his face. Oh, my darling, oh, my dear wife, whose voice I cannot hear. Tell me, the young one, is he creeping now? And is he well and mischievous as ever? Or is the cloud so heavy on the land, too deep for him to see the wonderful sky? I send a kiss to tell you everything about today, the 20th, in the distance. And you, comrade, you know I cannot come to the city in myself, where a garden should be green in the light they have planted sharp vines of barbed wire. And every footstep is a soldier's bootstep marching me down the corridors of silence. Comrade, if I should try to come now to the struggle, perhaps their iron garden then will bloom. The scarlet flower bleeding on the vine will be my corpse, and you will never see me. But let our red banner fly in the city, comrade. Let the wild wind strike it ringing like a bell. And sing a song for me, comrade. Let the sun be made to echo. Will I not hear, no matter where I be?
The Ballet of the Leaves. In the far distance, coconut palms gently dance a typey sort of dance, slow, sensuous. A little closer, a salmon, moving in rhythm with the interlocked cabbage palms, leaping and twirling, now up, now down, now in, now out. Closer still, other coconut palms, swaying, picking up the pace, leaves swishing, branches bending to the music and the touch of the masterful wind. Now the majestic salmon, with crown rising, flying, softly settling, as the hibiscus, pretty with red flowers, and the lacy golden apple leaves, waltz gracefully in reply against the backdrop of an azure sky.
Rainy nights. On those nights when the moon reveals nothing but a thin, crooked smile, and my eyes, open or closed, see nothing but a sea of blackness. The cool sheets of my bed tip me gently into the cooling black waters of the Akawini Creek. And as I float downward, little friendly fish nip at my skin. And water getting cold like crab dog's nose. Water, water, you got your water here? Barbies? West Coast, West Coast. Come buy scaled fish here. 1 for $100. The ungodly darkness delights. Water running over my naked skin, and I sinking deeper. Legs entangled with slippery reeds and lotus flower. Water Mama asks, "Is what you doing? Come, let me comb your hair." A black beetle crashes into the side of my face, jolts me awake. My body drenched by the swelter of the night, and I itching bad. Mr. Loverman tightens his grasp, his long arms protective. Nothing disturbs his sleep. I sigh. He snores gently.
The howler's hymn shatters the night to unveil the morning's crimson birth. The nightjar's question, "Who you?" answered by the mournful tinamou. I awake to the French of an Anaqua that echoes in the mountain mist, palm leaves clicking as the day inhales, while parrots tell the morning news. I hear macaws shouting at the sun as toucans trumpet from the highest limb, peeping quail always on the run, and the harpy screams on silk cotton rim. I need the river to start my day, to see my furry friends at play. Piercing cries so wild and free, a special message just for me.
Call by Stanley Greaves. How surprised to receive a call, your time from duties, my late breakfast spoon, rested secure in companion plate. Unusual audience, words over water, easy listening. Your revelations welcomed, appreciated, voyaging through vortices of my ear.
Love in Action by Claudia Heywood. Love is tangible. Show that you care. Sow deeds of kindness. Spread love everywhere. 'Tis not volume that matters. Little with love in it, as shown in small actions, touches the spirit. A word of encouragement. I missed you today. I think you could use this. I'm going your way. Oh, come, let me help you. A squeeze of the hand. Yes, they do speak volumes. Together we'll stand. Let's follow Christ Jesus. For people he died, not for pews and pulpits. For people he cried to the Father in heaven, that they all may be one, that the world may believe that God sent the Son. Oneness in purpose, oneness in goal. Bind us together, Lord, one heart, one soul. Let's love one another in truth and in deed. God said it. Believe it. The world will take heed.
Images of the Soul 1. My soul extends to you, like a newborn reaching out to suckle on its mother's breast. I'm wide awake, listening for the wind that carries your voice. I will surely break if you fade the light in my room. If you leave my side, it will be like shards of glass piercing my lungs. I won't survive. Do you feel me? We're just getting started. Let's grow old together and take long walks on the beach until the years and days and hours show their presence on our skin and on our minds. Let's sit on our porch and look out as the younglings run, ride, and walk into life. Let's take late mornings, drinking a coffee, scribbling words on paper, smoking green, sipping on tea, recharging. Let's have old people sex until our hearts race. Let's say I love yous until our words wither away. Let's sit outside in the night air and talk about the clock full of romance and dreams we accomplished together. Do you feel me? Over the noise and the distance and this vast space between us. Do you feel me? Do you feel my fire?
Song of the Expatriate. Oh, we're so glad we left Guyana and came to Britain, here to live a life of ease and riches too. We're buying lots of lovely things, enjoying all that money brings. Yes, we've arrived. And now we're British through and through. Good morning, neighbour. Word of warning, neighbour. Keep your distance and don't come too far. We've mended the garden fence, so stay your side from whence you can admire our curtains and our big new car. Oh, Mr. What's your name? We don't want to complain, but last week your children's ball landed in our yard. And last night that crowd you had in was making such a din, we could hear them through the kitchen wall, if we listened hard. Mother was getting old, suffered from damp and cold, and couldn't pay tuss for her food or room. The kids found her such a bore, but that doesn't matter anymore, 'cause we've now got her into an old folks' home. Our best friends, we are pleased to say, live 7 miles away, and we've only seen them once this year. But with television, we have found that we don't need our friends around, and that's good, 'cause it's too cold to fetch in bear. Word like we don't need. We keep our calm and say indeed and darling to friends when we meet them. And though our children may forget words like bana, mati, yet they learn plenty new ones like can't repeat them. Fresh air in holiday camps, sunshine from sunshine lamps, fruit in some distant country grown, coconut water from little cans, and tape recordings of steel bands remind us of the land we once called home. And though it's cold here, grey and raining, we've no reason for complaining. With all our worldly goods from the superstores and central heating and double glazing, who needs sunshine? It's amazing just how warm we keep, wrapped up indoors. Yes, we're glad we left Guyana and assumed the British manner, but although we're doing everything we planned, why is it we have dreams, in every one of which it seems that we're back home in our poor native land? This one is for the mothers. I'm a writer, and I now write this poem for the mothers. For, in my beginning within your womb, you did feed me with the sweet sucrose of life. And with your pains you did deliver me, and with my pains came I, both our eyes shedding tears, tears for the joys of life, a new life now born, tears for the sorrow of death, new death now born.
This poem is entitled Thoughts. The book I took to read in bed remains unopened. The lonely room is quiet, very quiet, as time and distance and circumstance clasp hands to confound me. In all this, through all of this, thoughts of you burn bright. The one light in this strange darkness.
Love affair. At 4 precisely every afternoon, she starts preparing for the visitor. She smooths the sheets and tidies up all around. Her house to keep has narrowed down to this. She dresses carefully and puts sweet talcum on. Grey hair she combs as much as can be combed and settles in her chair, folds her hands, and waits. Her day, her life, concentrated in this hour. Her eyes intently turned towards the opened door. At 5 precisely, every afternoon, he comes in through the door at visiting hour. His suit is shiny old but pressed and clean. He takes off an old beret on entering the ward. He leans quite heavily upon a worn wood cane. Without fail, he shyly gives a wave towards her bed, then slowly stumps towards her, and she looks content. Quietly they sit together near the tidy bed. They hardly speak a word the whole hour that he is here. She bends a little closer. He gives a halfway smile. She rocks a while, and he relaxes. But there is something in the closeness of the chairs. Strangers would be further, even friends not half as near. They doubly occupy a single space in time. The space is empty if he, for one, is not there. At 5 to 6, he rises from his usual place. She looks at him. He gives her half a nod and bends stiffly down and touches her old cheek and takes her hand in his, and she takes his. No words exchanged, and that is all there is. At exactly 6 o'clock, when visiting hour ends, he goes towards the door and does not turn at all. Her sadness deeper than our customary sorrow. She turns away and yearns towards tomorrow.
What we want of love. So much we desire of love, so much that it be perfect, that it be absolute, that it take us across astonishing gulfs of danger and harm and hurt and fear, that it heals all wounds inflicted by the world. When we are young, that it be passionate, set fire to the skies of day and night, be honey on the bread of life, a gleam of beauty always present, that it should bear rich fruit. But when the last comes, as it must, all we want of love is narrowed down. Whom we love need not be glamorous or strong, brave or exciting, or providing everything. What mattered once does not matter now. Do not leave me. Leave me to the black night coming. Be with me one day, 1 hour, one more day, 1 hour more, be with me. One more hour, one last hour, forever.
I touch your earth, your sands, your waters, your riverbanks and ocean fronts, and I breathe your pristine air from atop a mountain or next to a waterfall, or right outside my front door where birds call and sing. Your orange umber sunsets take my breath away, and sunrises give me eternal hope. I adore you, my precious land that I am proud to call home, because nowhere in the world do I feel a stronger sense of belonging than here. wrapped in the love of family from ancestors to descendants, caressed by the air rushing or softly flowing through the verdant vegetation of towering trees, or across the ocean to kiss me over and over again on the walls that contain the sea. Here, in the open spaces of land horizoned by mountains or ocean, here, on the ferry crossing wide waters on rivers, here I am always home. Here I am always free. Here my life matters equally. You are mine and I am yours. Each day I love you more. Always my country. Here is my home. Here, my Guyana.